everybody, it's Jonah. Welcome back to From the Ground Up. Today we are going to plant a bunch of seeds. We've got some flower seeds, some herbs, some tomatoes, some onions, and some brassicas. I'm really excited to get these started because that means it's just that much closer to spring. We still have a bunch of snow on the ground outside, but it is raining today, so maybe it'll melt, maybe not. We'll see. First things first, we're going to make labels for what we're planting. So let's just get started. So those are all my herbs and my flowers. I'll be planting 2 kinds of zinnias, 2 kinds of marigolds, some lavender, bee balm, and echinacea. I know you don't have to start the marigolds or the zinnias indoors, but I just want to give them a little jump start and get a little color in my garden sooner. And then I think I'll also direct sow some once it's warm enough. For my herbs, I will be planting parsley, Italian single leaf, some sweet basil, some oregano, dill, chives, tarragon, and a new one I've never heard of called cinnamon basil. I got it as a gift when I ordered some Baker Creek heirloom seeds, so I'll be excited to try that out. Next, we need to make the labels for the brassicas and the onions. So I only am planting 2 kinds of the onions. The sweet Walla Wallas, because sweet onions are my favorite, and some evergreen bunching little small onions, green onions. For the brassicas, I'm planting some purple broccoli, it's called Calbios cabbage. It's a type of purple cabbage and it's kind of long and narrow. Some Danish green ball head cabbage, some red acre ball cabbage, and some Brussels sprouts. Now that may seem like a lot of cabbage, but I really like cabbage and I'm only going to plant maybe 1 or 2 of each, just to test them out, see how I like them. I'm starting them indoors now so that hopefully I can get them to full harvest before it gets too hot and they stop growing, because brassicas do not like the heat. The only thing left to label are the tomatoes, but I am not doing those on sticks, and that's because I'm using red solo cups for my tomato planting. I saw this online and it looked like a good way to try it. I know that tomatoes need a little more space and I don't want them to outgrow the little cells before it's time to transplant them outside. So for the red solo cup tomato planters, pop them out. I have 7 types of tomato I'm going to plant, and I'm just going to use 1 cup per tomato type. I'll put a couple of seeds, maybe like 3 or 4 in there to start, and then when they germinate and spring up a little bit, then I'll separate them out. I really only need 1 type of most of the tomato plants, maybe 2 or 3 of the bromas for making sauce, but the other ones are just for eating, so I really don't need that many cups. What we're gonna do is drill a hole in the bottom of 1 cup, and then once we have the hole in there, we'll stick it just inside another cup with a little craft stone or a marble or a rock or a little piece of wood, just so it's not completely smushed to the bottom. So let's drill our holes. Got all those. Yep, got them all. Got some holes. Next, we're gonna label our cups. Okay, now that we have all of our cups labeled, we can start filling everything with dirt and planting. The type of tomatoes that we'll be planting today are a red beefsteak, a yellow pear, This one's called Brad's Atomic Grape, which if you can see that. Doesn't that look pretty? It's like a rainbow on a grape tomato. This one is Tess's Landrace Currant, which I'm also really excited about because currant tomatoes are like miniature cherry tomatoes or even smaller than cherry tomatoes, so I'm just excited to see those grow. I'm planting quite a few Romas because I want to use those to make sauce, tomato sauce. We like to eat pasta at this house. I have some plain red cherries, and I have, it's called a black crim tomato, which is partially red and then partially purple. You can see it gets kind of a darker purplish red there. So let's get started with the planting. So next we're gonna fill up all of our containers with dirt. And I decided last time I didn't really like watering the dirt after I had put all the dirt in, so I'm gonna pre-water the dirt and kind of moisten it a little bit. I feel like that'll work a little better. So I just got 2 ice cream buckets because we had that. I'm gonna pour some water in here, just a little bit. I don't want it to get too muddy. Just mix it up. Get it nice and, oh, it smells so good. If you're a gardener, you know that smell when everything's coming back to life and it's just good wet dirt smell. That is what I'm smelling right now, and it smells so nice. I miss that smell. I went to the store this morning with my son. We had to pick up a few things, and the birds were singing, guys. The birds were singing. You know what that means? Spring is almost here. I'm so excited. I love the winter. I'm not complaining about the winter because I do love the winter, but I am really excited for the spring this year. So let's just fill up our cups. I am not squishing it down too hard because it's got water in there. I don't want to compact it. Filling it pretty much all the way full in each cup. Got some more cells for my onions and the cabbages and the flowers. Alright, now that we've got our trays all filled up, let's plant some seeds. This tray already has peppers in it, so we don't want to put our brassicas in here because they don't like the extra heat, and the peppers are sitting on a heat mat. So let's start with our herbs. So those are all the herbs that we listed earlier. Next, we're gonna fill the rest of this container with flowers. Some are annuals and some are perennials. I have a bigger area for my lavender, and for my echinacea, my bee balm. Those are perennials, and I want a lot of those because I'm gonna put some by my vegetable garden and some just in other places in my yard. They're some of my favorite flowers. In this tray, we're going to be planting our onions, our brassicas, and a few more flowers. Last but not least, we're planting our tomatoes. I've already put them in their second cup. The label's on the inside, so you have to pull it up to see and just make sure they match so you get the right tomato in the right cup. Here we go. Thanks for stopping by. Have a blessed day. Hope to see you soon.